Boom, bam, bam, and welcome to the EPL Rewind with your host, President Chad. Normally we have, a lot of guests and a little round table on this program, but today just be handling the business by myself. Now, the EPL Rewind is where we look back, we look over the past week, and in this case, 2 game weeks in the Premier League. But today we're going to do something a little different. We're not going to spend that much time going through all the scores and who assisted because there's a lot of drama going on in the Premier League. We have Conte having a meltdown and subsequently leaving the post at Arsenal, Crystal Palace firing Patrick Vieira, and we have an Arsenal team that is still top of the league but have a lot of very difficult fixtures coming up. So we're going to focus the show around those topics. And we're going to start off with the man. Let's start off with Arsenal. So Arsenal right now are top of the Premier League. And before we talk about how their position in terms of points, I want to talk about the fixtures, the next 6 fixtures that Arsenal have coming up. So the next fixture is Leeds, which should be a very easy game for Arsenal. Then we have Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton. Game week 33, which starts on Wednesday the 26th, is Manchester City. Then they have Chelsea, and then they have Newcastle. So between now and May the 7th, Arsenal have to play Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, and Newcastle. So the question is simply this. Do you think that by game week 35, Arsenal is still going to be on top of the Premier League? Put in your comments and let me know what your thoughts are. Big up to Trevor in the comments. Yo, my brother. Okay. We do have one of our guests popping in late.
Don't worry. The drinks will be on me these days. You know, when you're married, or it does be the time and does be out of it. I humbly apologize. All the same, good evening to everyone.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Good afternoon to you as well. So, you were able to hear what I was saying before?
I just came in. No login. You can remind us reiterated. The point.
All right, good. Well, we started off talking about Arsenal and the question about the elephant in the tree and whether the elephant will be able to remain in the tree during the rest of the season. So I went through Arsenal fixtures. We have Leeds, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton, Man City, Chelsea, and Newcastle. So between now and May the 7th, Arsenal have to play Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and Newcastle. How do you feel? Do you feel that Arsenal, by game week 35, which would be May 7th, that Arsenal would still be comfortably on top of the league?
As an Arsenal fan, I feel very optimistic because I've never seen Arsenal with this type of togetherness. Remember, twice we failed, and everybody failed to realize that. Twice you failed to qualify for Champions League on the last day, you end up missing out twice while you had a lead. So that'll be behind the players and their mind, especially the team, the coach, everybody. The positive thing is we bought 2 players, well actually I should say 3 players who've been in this position before. Jorginho, in the sense that he did it with Chelsea, win everything with Chelsea. We have Zinchenko and we have Gabriel Jesus. And the first thing, and I've watched today in Gabriel's interview, the centre-back, he said that the first thing Gabriel Jesus said when he signed for Arsenal, and the first day when he came to the training centre, and he told, his first words was, if we play together, we can win this championship. He said everybody watch him like, what? Okay. He said if we play together, we could win this championship. And if you look at my team from the beginning of the season to now, you actually see centre back celebrating tackle, winning the ball. It's like a dog fight. Every game is like a final for us. Yes, we lose some, but we also did something that majority of the Arsenal team never had, except for the invincible season. That dog fight. 90th minute, goal down, no head down. They head up, they put on the gloves, and they're ready to go to the last second until the referee blow. And
So
I believe that if they continue playing the way they are playing, this and the stars continue to align, well, at the end, only one result will be possible. Although this season, many will say if I ask them top four, I would have bite your hand off and say yes, thank you. Anyway, in top four. I've said that from the beginning. Anything beyond that, I'll be grateful. And if the players find it fit to say, well, all right, this season they're in a championship fight because City is the team to beat. They've been in that position. Liverpool was 10 points, Chelsea was 10 points clear, remember, and they came back and they beat them. But the problem I seen with City, and we all had this discussion before, there's something in that dressing room that's not right. Nobody does want to does want to run from a championship team unless two things: egos and the coach. You see Cancelo left in the middle of a season. You see Bernardo Silva sending two transfer requests, one last summer and one in January. And you beg to wonder what going on in City dressing room that having these star players not performing the best. You understand? They're not at the pinnacle they once as, and they want to leave. What justifies such? So at the end of the day, as an Arsenal fan, I think we could do it, but it's down to City. Being 8 points clear, one game in front. I'd rather play all the games and win than had all them games in the bag because I've been in the situation having all the game in the bag and everybody laugh at me in the end for the past 2 seasons. Sorry
true,
to
true,
say.
true. So you are, yeah, yeah, you put the stats out there. Right now Arsenal are 8 points ahead. City is after 28 games. City they are on 69. City on 61 after 27 games. Manchester United on 50 points after 26 games. Really and truly is a two-horse race that we're looking at. Um, my opinion, my thoughts on this is simply this. I think the biggest challenge to Arsenal is really and truly Arsenal. I think the reason why Arsenal should see this out is not because I think they're going to go unbeaten against in that run that we just spoke about. All those games, all those teams they're going to play. I think they're going to drop points. Arsenal are going to drop points for sure, right? I could bet money on it. Arsenal will drop points. However, what you said about Manchester City, I've been saying for like 2 years now. 2 years now, I've been saying that same thing because every off season there are at least 2 to 3 players, right? Whether it was Bernardo Silva, as I say in the summer before that, it would have been this defender. Oh gosh, what's his name?
Laporte.
Laporte, right? And every couple of seasons there have been some key players that have hear the name come up and they wanted to leave. I mean, we have this young Sane that left and went to Bayern Munich. So this is something that has been happening with City, and maybe it is now coming to a head. Right? It's not new players wanting to leave, but the exodus is a lot bigger. You have Jesus, you have Zinchenko, you have Bernardo Silva putting in transfer requests. So clearly there are a lot more people wanting to leave, but the issues in City, nobody is talking, and I don't think anybody will talk until this team breaks up, until Pep leaves or something. Then maybe tongues may wag. But for now, nobody is saying what it is, and I agree with them. You shouldn't air your dirty laundry. And I think because of that, City is also going to falter. So do I think Arsenal will drop points? Yes. Do I think City would be able to capitalize? No. I think the gap is going to be closer. I don't think that Arsenal are going to end up winning with an 8-point gap. They're going to be, but I think City is just going to end up having some challenges. Um, I want you to talk to us, Tristan, about your thoughts on Patrick Vieira and the situation with Patrick Vieira and at Crystal Palace. That firing and what you think about that.
My 2 cents on Patrick is this: it was a very harsh decision from my point of view, because you get rid of Patrick Vieira in the right time, whereas Crystal Palace at 12, he didn't have a lot going for him in the sense of the in 12th place, majority of players been injured and they haven't really supported him in getting that midfielder that they needed. So
Just now, just now. So when you say they got rid of him at the right time for him,
no, they
or the
didn't
right
get rid
time
of
for
him
the club?
at the right time for the club. They get rid of him at the right time, but it was an unfortunate event for him to go, because within these 2 weeks, I believe he could nurture the players that was injured, bring them back into the fold. Like, for example, Zaha, who was injured for critical games, especially. He missed like about 12 games. I exaggerated. He missed about at least 8 games because of the injury. Then you have some players was missing because of discipline, red card issues, who pick up injury in between. They never really get over Conor Gallagher, right? That machine in the middle from Chelsea. And that was very, very, very hard for them. I thought they might have buying them back full sale. But unfortunately, life goes on. He tried the best he could do with the little resources he got. They didn't really back him in that transfer window. When you look at how much players come in, only one player bring in from the French league, and he's very young. He's very raw too. The Premier League is a big league. We all know it take a while to adapt, which
And
was the Frenchman, the playing midfield.
yeah. And to me, people have to remember the circumstances with which Patrick came. This team barely finished above the relegation zone. They had no money. They did practically nothing in the transfer market. He used his clout more than the clout of the club to get loans from teams, right? And actually full out a roster that was able to finish mid-table last season. Now let's
Yeah.
be real. Patrick last 10 games, the team hasn't won a game in the Premier League.
No score goals except for against Arsenal. No score goals except for against Arsenal.
Right? But let's look at those teams. They lost against according the last 5 games. They lost against Arsenal, top of the league. Brighton, ripping it up right now. Manchester City, right?
And the Manchester City, to me, was a very difficult loss because that was no penalty. Only Tajiman, it was very questionable.
Right? And then they drew with Liverpool. And they drew with Brentford, who also doing well, and they drew with Brighton. That is the last 7 games. Those are all hard games. They're not just hard games for a team like Crystal Palace. Those are hard games for anybody. Any top 4 team that had to play Brighton right now and Brentford right now is therapy. Arsenal, City, the only kind of easy game is Aston Villa, and Aston Villa experiencing a resurgence, right? So it was some tough games. Now they fired the man, and he had the games that they're going to be playing now. The next 5 games: Leicester, Leeds, Southampton, Everton, and Wolves. I mean, really, boy? You couldn't get him a chance to
No, but
redeem himself.
then again, they will go back to saying this. I'll use the racial card. You hardly see black managers in the Premier League. And there's a reason why. Every other person, Lampard. Lampard
They
didn't do
don't
a
get
good job at Everton. They
they
give
don't
Lampard a
find they
whole
get
year.
sufficient chance.
Yeah, they don't give him a sufficient chance at all. They bring back Roy Hodgson from retirement. Roy Hodgson, who almost as old as the Queen, want to kick the bucket the other day. This sad boy.
And I very rarely wish teams get relegated. Seriously, I very rarely. But after this move, I hope Crystal Palace get relegated. Serious. Because
I wouldn't mind that. I
because I
wouldn't mind
find
that.
it totally Vieira's doing a good job with what he has. You understand what I'm saying? With what he has. And I really don't find that they treated him fairly at all.
At all. Roy Hodgson, boy.
My issue with bringing is that is a step in the wrong direction. The most this man could do for you, the most he could do, is keep you in the Premier League. There is no Roy is not doing anything else. The most he could do is prevent you from getting relegated. Are you telling me that you didn't think Patrick could keep you up in the Premier League? You're telling me that you didn't think he could do that?
I don't think they probably wanted that, and I think they probably wanted a European place. And I believe Roy Hodgson can probably do that. Get the best out of Zaha.
You, th-
That is,
you believe
I
Roy
can't be
Hodgson could do
realistic
that?
as the owner. I feel that's what they're probably thinking. Because my thinking and your views and my views are the same as 10,000 Frenchmen, and we could never be wrong. Them probably dreaming on something, but I don't know.
You need to check who make any meals in the make sure they're not putting mushrooms inside of there.
And
Something seems to be wrong.
I watch the owner in the Arsenal game. Every time the camera thing, he feeling shame. He must feel shame. Is that dumb decision? It's a very dumb decision.
True. So let's move on and talk about the biggest news that happened this week, which would have been Conte's dismissal. I don't want to say dismissal. According to the reports, mutual agreement, right? Mutual parting of ways with Spurs. Now, after Conte's meltdown, I can't go ahead. What were you saying?
I not calling it a meltdown. The man just decided to tell the truth. The owner is the problem for Tottenham. Daniel Levy is a clown.
Just
come out and say it. I will say it. Daniel Levy is a clown.
The reason I call it a meltdown is not that what he said was wrong, and we're going to touch on what he said just now. The reason I call it a meltdown is you don't normally see managers of any caliber come out and go on that kind of rant. You don't. That is not normal. That is the reason.
Jose Mourinho.
That's not normal. Even Jose, this news to be like every week.
Jose said the same thing, even about the players and the caliber of players that buy. He said Dalali, tell Dalali that if you don't get out of the shell you're in, you're going to damage your career at a very young age. He's 29 years old and he's on the bench for Besiktas. He can't say make the squad. Everton don't want him back. He tell Danny Rose, yes, you might have a good game today and 10 bad games, but that one good game, I will not look at that because you have 10 bad games. Too much. He criticized Rashford and tell Rashford, you had the ability, but you had to remove that mental block. He tell Marshall, he's a finisher, but your lifestyle, you had to stop it. You had to train more, you had to be more professional. He tell Harry Maguire about it too. And the thing is, when he leave, everybody will say, yeah, boy, Jose was right. I didn't like how he blast Rashford. I didn't like how he blast the youngsters. Because he's seeing the elders, he's seeing where they're falling on the wayside. Look at Rashford now. Rashford playing for his supper.
Let's zone in on some of the things Conte said. To me, more than anything else, Conte was saying that the culture at Spurs is the problem. From the owner to the players, to the CEO, to the players, the entire structure is mediocre, right? They don't fight for anything. and whatever fight they do put out is pretty much just to get top 4, and that's it. Right? This team, and let's be real, this Spurs team has reached a Champions League final within the last 5 years. They reached a FA Cup final or semi-final. Was it semi-final? Final. They meet a final.
Yeah, final. Two finals.
Right.
The
So
FA Cup final, the Carling Cup semi-final,
right,
and the Champions League final. And they lost everyone.
So this is a team that had opportunities for silverware, right? We're not talking about a team that didn't have any opportunities for silverware. And I think Conte, more than anything else, was saying, the culture of this team is just not winning. This team doesn't have a culture of winning. This team doesn't have a culture of really even fighting really for silverware. If you know, it almost like if they stumble upon a final or two, well, yeah, that's good enough for them. And we all knew when he said what he said, it was only a matter of time, right? I was surprised that it took them so long to let him go, to be honest. But, you know, it is what
it is. But remember, you know why it took them long? For a side like Tottenham, they're still paying the Portuguese coach, the two of them. They're playing Pochettino still. They're playing Mourinho, and the guy from Wolves, who they fire from Wolves. Now they're paying Pochettino, who was on 15 million a year. After he said we had to say take up and go to Italy, I don't want to hear nothing. Let me know about my money. Like regime with you, and I like Conte style. Tell me about my money. How much are they get? All right, if it's 15 million, you can keep 3 million, give him a 12. Like Conte style, he going back to Italy. Juventus will happy to bring him back because they're in a mess right now with Allegri. Inter will fire Inzaghi in the morning just to bring him back. He knows that.
You understand? I would see that boy Inter on top of the league.
Inter will fire him in the morning. And Inter not on top of the league is Napoli.
Sorry, yes, Napoli on top of the league.
Inter will fire him in the morning. Inzaghi gonna get about shot because they know the type of man he is. You have to give him the money and the players.
So let's talk a little bit about Conte's record. Conte
won everything we except by Tottenham, hands down.
Conte at Spurs played 76 games, won 40, lost 23. He had a win percentage of 54.1. Now that is the lowest win percentage Conte has had at any one of the top teams that he has been at. His win percentage at Juventus was 67.5. Win percentage at Chelsea was 65.1. His win percentage at Inter was 62.7. He's never fallen under 62% at any big club, and he's at 54% at Spurs. He is saying is the attitude of the ownership, attitude of the players. But I also, when I look at these figures, I see them slowly and incrementally coming down. Do you think Conte's style itself is probably getting a little stale?
I don't think his style is thing. It's just the players he wanted because majority of the players Spurs bringing was not Conte signing. Conte signing is mature players, proven winners. You know what youngsters who now come? They were bruisers. If you look at the Chelsea squad, how much bruisers they have? Well, had. Now they have none.
All right. So, what are you expecting from Spurs between now and the end of the season? Right now, Spurs 4th.
I ain't expecting anything from Spurs. I expecting Spurs to not finish the top 4. Newcastle, I always say this, Newcastle, all you have to be careful too. Because complacency could come in between there. 10 more games to go. 12 more games all there.
Manchester United not going to get complacent.
Listen why. That Europa League, Ten Hag really probably set his sights on.
I know, I understand exactly what you're saying when you're going after that trophy.
You had 3 games. Well, you had 3 games every week, you know.
We have had 3 games every week since the World Cup.
You understand?
It's pressure.
And they seen Rashford done starting thing already. Rashford can't beat on his own. He could score how much goals? But when you have men like Maguire and El Chapo in the back there, I don't know, the butcher, however you just call him. 1 minute he's the butcher, next minute he's like, that's telling you. Let us go to them.
Yeah, but I agree with you that Newcastle is the team that we have to look at. I
Once a week,
expect Newcastle to,
and they're
to
motivated. And we said the resurgence are the big striker. The big
yeah,
striker is back.
Isaac saying things. So I
Isak
expect,
scoring.
yeah,
So
I
they don't need
expect.
Wilson and them fellas.
Actually, we haven't seen much of Wilson at all in recent
Now I'm trying
times.
to tell you.
He's not even coming off the bench early. Normally they would have bring him on like 60th minute.
Isak,
Off the
that's why
bench
they
real
are
late.
Isak. The miss Isak for the majority of the season. So Isak now, he don't know any clause. I get Champions League 250,000 a week. That's my motivation. Kumara is the same thing. Champions League, more money. You know them Brazilians, they play their heart out. They love their money. At least you
I
have about 2, 3 of them. So
I also think it's just not just the money, but the opportunity. They've been really embraced by the Newcastle fans.
of course,
So we're not looking for much for Spurs.
no.
Let's
I
just
expect
talk a
them
little
to
bit.
make some. I expect them if they had to play City or any of the top 4 team. I expect them to probably try to take points, not beat them. If they beat them, this will be unexpected. But at least hold them by a draw or something. That'll be good.
I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming game week because we have a massive game on Saturday, the
Yeah.
1st of April. First game of the weekend, 7:30 in the morning. Manchester City taking on Liverpool.
I don't know what type
Um,
of Liverpool team you will get. Again, I will say that. I don't know if
but I
this is
know I'm gonna
Liverpool
ask you
team
that.
with
What are your
7-0.
thoughts on that game?
I don't know if this is Liverpool team with 7-0 against United or this is Liverpool 1-0 against Bournemouth. I'm not sure what Liverpool team you're going to get. And Liverpool have 3 hard fixtures. They have City,
Chelsea after.
followed by Chelsea, and then they are Arsenal. Right? That will take a lot from them, especially that Chelsea game. Because Chelsea
So
no
if,
one
if
does
you had
something
to
different.
if you had to put money on it, who you think gonna win that game?
I'll put that money on a draw because
Put
I'm
money
not
on
sure
that.
if Haaland fit. I see this fella injured. That key
Haaland,
injury,
Haaland, Haaland is injured. The injury looks to be slight, but we don't
growing.
know how it'll turn out between now and the weekend.
You understand? They are growing. So that is something serious. In addition to such, they Foden out for a while. He do a surgery. There are no timeline on that surgery. The appendix. Right?
All right, one of the other big games on the weekend is well on
Newcastle
Saturday.
United.
Yes, but as I want to touch on this game, Brentford, Brighton, because
Ooh.
these are two teams that are
That'll be
difficult
a
teams.
firecracker.
Yeah, to me, I consider that a big game, right? I
Yeah.
consider Brentford Brighton right now in the context of this Premier League. There's a big game.
And knowing fully well that Ivan Toney, the league is actually going easier on him because they want him to play for the Euros.
So I am giving Brighton the edge simply because I think Brighton have better players.
Correct. But
Outside of Tony and Bumo just don't finish enough. Brentford have decent players, but I think man for man, Brighton is a better team.
Brighton now have an injury to the main goalkeeper. Is a second string keeper playing now. The youngster.
It's not just an injury. The coach say he prefer the second string keeper. Man rest. He put Sanchez on the bench. He say he find this goalkeeper playing better out of the back, and Sanchez could get back into the team, but he actually demoted Sanchez.
Wow.
So
I swear that injury had.
No, he got injured, and the coach saw this other guy and liked this other guy. So even though he's not injured now,
he had to fight back for that spot.
He had to fight back for the spot.
Now I like coaches like them, Dezebre and Potter. They are good coaches. The philosophy, you see it in the team, the identity of the team. Brighton play from the back. That good quality players. They get rid of every time they get rid of a big star, you see someone come back in. They get rid of Trossard, Mitoma. They get rid of this fellow who went Spurs, Casino. The scouting ability, everything has been
These two
superb.
teams are hands down the best recruiting teams in the league.
Facts.
And I hope it's a shootout. I could do it like a 3-all or something. My fantasy team could do it in points. Just saying.
Everybody fantasy team could get some points, especially from Thomas. I'm a captain going in this weekend. I hope all in jinx him like all jinx my boy Tony. But you give me some points.
So but I expect that game to be good. That game I expect to be good. Newcastle Manchester United on Sunday 11:30. What are your thoughts on that?
Newcastle go win that game. Not because I don't like Collier. I'll be honest. You see that final they lose 3-0 or 3-1, whatever it is. They go up payback and payback will be in the league. They know if they beat all in the league, it could break all mentally. Some of all, especially like Captain Fernandez. He mental and so strong as people perceive him to be.
Newcastle is playing at home, so they would
Of
have
course
that home advantage.
Of
We'll see how
course,
that goes. I
that would be
predict
very
a 2-0 win for Manchester United.
You think you will get them open like how you get them open to that true ball?
It's not a matter that I think it's just the grind. I think you have two players that are really in form in Rashford and Isak, and the supporting cast for Manchester United is just better, and that is why I think Manchester will have the edge. But
I'll later.
Newcastle is very capable of beating Manchester United. I would say that without a doubt. Everton Spurs. Now, the only reason I bring up Everton Spurs, not that Everton Spurs is a big game on the surface.
Everton going to get 3 points.
But I think what's going on with Spurs right now and Everton's defense, which has definitely improved
a lot.
Do you expect a Spurs new manager or temporary manager bounce, or do you
they're going to play exactly like Conte does? Is Conte right hand, you know? He's going to do everything like Conte tells Spurs, get them the money. He's a professional.
So you expect we have a question here from Twitch. Isn't Almiron for Newcastle injured? Yeah, I think so.
He was.
But I think he should be back by the weekend.
He will be back.
Yeah. I don't think Newcastle have any major injuries. Isak is back. Almiron is back.
And the Frenchman, he's back in their good books.
Yeah. So I think Newcastle going to be full strength.
Yeah.
I think United might quicker be missing because they're missing Casemiro. United might be a little more.
That's why I say Ole going to lose that game. Ole have them find something to replace Casemiro.
Yeah, United probably would have more challenges.
That midfield. Newcastle go win the midfield.
And Sabitzer didn't play today. He was an unused substitution in that Euro game for Austria. So that might
be injured also too. Tyson.
Additional challenges. Like you, I think Everton could get a result. I mean, Kane is on my team, my fantasy team, but I'm telling you right now, Kane is on a very short string. The only other there's a double game week for certain teams. So Liverpool also playing Chelsea this week. That would be so Liverpool have the two biggest games of the weekend: Liverpool Spurs and Liverpool Chelsea. This is playing at Stamford Bridge. What do you think? What are going to work some magic?
Because right now, very magic, but it depends on who Liverpool turn up. That's the thing. I want to face the Liverpool or Bournemouth. That's who I want to face next week. I've been bold with it. I want to face the Liverpool or Bournemouth. But I feel I might face Liverpool or United.
I'm telling you straight up. And Liverpool, after they played United, a lot of pundits were like, yeah, Liverpool is back. And I said it on this program, and I've said it elsewhere. Liverpool going to continue to be inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
You see what you're saying there is very true. You actually have no idea which Liverpool is going to show up. Because the Liverpool that played United literally scored almost every time they took a shot at goal. Right? They were unbelievably clinical. They exceeded their XG expected goals. And if that Liverpool plays any team that could score almost every time they take a shot is going to be difficult to beat. But again, it's an inconsistent team, so that could happen, as well as they could very much just do what they've been doing and miss sitters, right? Because that is what all the memes around Liverpool has been this season, them missing sitters. So who knows? For me, I'm gonna give I can't see Liverpool losing the 2 games. And if I think City going to beat them, then I have to say that I expect Liverpool to beat Chelsea. Or maybe Chelsea could eke out that draw.
I know.
I say I don't think Liverpool going to lose the both games. So if I see City beating Liverpool, I think Liverpool will beat Chelsea.
I know what you say, Ambi. You're missing. You just stop.
I say Liverpool. I think Liverpool going to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, well, if they beat Chelsea, that'll be good. I'll be very, very good. In the sense that it will give the fans hope for top 4. And it will make top 4 race even better.
Boy, I don't know about making top 4 better, nah? Because I don't think Liverpool have a chance really with that top 4. But it is
I
what
think
it
they
is.
have a chance, man. An open chance. A 1 in a million chance.
I hear you.
A 1 in a million. Give everybody a chance, now. When I'm playing the lotto, wait, does do? You just have 1 in a million chance, huh? Liverpool have 1 in a million chance to finish top of the league. To finish in the top 4. So let me get them a little hope. A little glimmer up now, boy.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that. So, folks, as this we're looking to shut it down. We will be back for the EPL Rewind after this game week. This game week, as I said, we have a number of teams playing 2 games. We have Brighton, Brentford, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool. A number of teams playing 2 games, so there's going to be a hectic. The next program going to be lit because I have a lot of games to talk
on Friday, hopefully.
So, President Chad and Tristan saying enjoy the rest of your day, and like, subscribe, do the necessary.
Yeah, man.
Support the United Hour. Click that like button and subscribe.